shoot content. It is the platform, the conduit through which you will be able to find your liberation, to find your freedom. Hold on a second. Are they asking? They can sit here, right? I just want to make sure because if they got to get up, these people will jump up here and jump on me, and I'm gonna be embarrassed because I can fight, but I can't fight 20 people. All right. Are there any questions before we go? No, you know what? I'm gonna pause on the questions because there's gonna be a question answer in a minute. But is everybody fired up? Are we ready to go? This right side is killing it. I don't know what's going on over here. Can y'all hear me? I still don't think. Can y'all hear me? Can we fix the speakers on this side, please? Because clearly something must be going on over here. I don't know. All right. Next up, I would like to bring someone to the stage who's going to continue to set the tone for the rest of the day. He is a man who is actually a part of that Black Voices Fund that I was talking about. He is none other than Nollywood actor and YouTube creator, Aka. Now, make some noise for Aka, man. Come on. And also, I would like to say to the people that were seated in the front, my apologies. I am so sorry. Please don't jump on me. I really am sorry. They're making us move y'all to the back. I think it's messing up the cameras. Look what I'll do for you, my gentleman in the front here, my brother. I will make a special place for you over here, okay? My apologies. Okay, everyone, I got it.
What's up, my G? Hi, everybody!
I like that. Everybody say, Aka! This right side is, they are on fire.
They're on fire. They're on fire.
They are.
Can I hear this side say, Aka?
It's like 13 people over there. Like, what's going on, man? Let's get it. Brother, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it.
Aka is going to serve as our master of ceremonies. So you'll be hearing a lot from him today. But we wanted to start this conversation again to set the tone for the day. Aka is a man who needs no introduction. But for those of you, if you just may happen to live under a rock and not know who this gentleman is, there's no one better to introduce himself than himself. So I would like for you to please, and go as far back and take as long as you want. Talk to us about your journey to success, your journey to sitting on the stage right now, to acting in the films that you've acted in, and most importantly, your journey on YouTube.
Thank you, Adam. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm so excited to be here, to be with you guys and connecting with you guys. We're going to have our own special time together. But yes, let me just, respond to Adam's question. Let me go as far back as I want.
As far back as you can.
When I was 6 years old?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I was born. I'm joking. Okay. I think what my journey has been like, I was heavily influenced by the people who were around me, aunties, uncles. I remember Saturdays, we don't have them like we used to. Saturday mornings where, sanitation. That time in Nigeria, sanitation was a thing. Like you have to clean the house, clean your streets, wherever, your compound, every Saturday morning. So Saturday mornings was for cleaning. And then my aunties would put on music like Celine Dion, I'm your angel.
It's so wild. Black mothers everywhere were doing the same thing, all over the world.
Singing their hearts out, Westlife, R. Kelly, and all that just influenced, some of the my personality and some of the things that I liked and my taste in music. And so I fell in love with R&B music. I started singing, and then everybody just started telling me, you know, I can be a musician. But I wanted to be a lawyer only because at the time, there were only a couple of occupations. It was doctor, lawyer, and engineer. If you are not in these three, you cannot make your parents proud. So,
this is straight this wild. I'm Nigerian, yo. I didn't even know that. I just found out because they told me the same thing.
Really?
I swear.
So basically, like, guys, like, I was, you know, I was like, engineering is not my thing. Doctor, I don't like to see law. So let me just stick with law. So I just assumed that I wanted to be a lawyer because I just felt like, okay, I like to talk and, you know, I mean arts. But as I grew older, I realized that none of that was appealing to me. I didn't want to be any of those things. But I didn't know what I wanted to be, even through primary school, through, I think in primary 5, I dabbled in, I want to be a pilot. But by the time I reached primary 6, and I knew that sciences, you have to know sciences like that, and especially when I got into JS1, I was like, let me dump this idea for now. But of course, later on, I realized quickly my gifts and talents in the arts. I didn't like acting, actually. I could not stand drama units. How many of you were in drama units? I could not stand you people. Whether it's in school or whether it's in church, I'm just like, what are they doing? But funny enough, it was something that I really felt drawn to when I became vulnerable enough to find who I was. And I just realized that, you know what, I'm just going to do this. So it started out from music and being in the choir. I then had confidence to be who I was and share my talents to the world. And then doing that, I became an actor. Later in life, I actually got a day job, and then quit, and then decided to go into like entertainment. I remember my employer asking me, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "Entertainment." To make it, and he didn't blow. So I was just like, "Oh, I didn't have a plan." But started to an audition, and then I got selected. I was on TV for a bit and realized that I was only voicing my producer's idea. And I realized I needed to say what I wanted to say with my full chest. So started my YouTube channel. And that's how I started out Acabans, because I just felt like I needed to share my opinions. I wanted to be 100% authentic to myself and to the people who needed to hear what I had to say, because I felt like Nigerian youths needed to be more involved in politics. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, Acabans is on a pause because the political scene is quite volatile, Adam.
I live in America.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So yeah, I decided to pause that, but we're focusing on them, creating new stories. I think that, Nigerian filmmakers, Nigerian stories are resonating in the world, and so Acabans is transitioning into, creating films and stuff like that. But yeah, that's been my journey.
Thank you.
In a nutshell.
Thank you. We said thank you. We say thank you. Come on, family. So it's interesting hearing your story. It took so many different paths, right? And I feel like for all of us here, the reality is that there is no straight line, right? There's no like I did this, I did this, I did that, and then I got there. Can you talk to me about what are the principles? I heard consistency there. I heard hard work there. Can you talk to us about what those things are for you? And the reason that I would love you to talk to this group about, because I imagine a lot of the people there look up to you and see you where you are now, but don't understand the things that it took for you to go from where you were, from when you were born to where you are now. So can you talk to us about what are those principles? What are those things that you have to consistently use to leverage and get to the next level?
For everybody here, I'd like to first say that for you to be an amazing storyteller, because we're all telling stories. Everybody here is a storyteller, whether it's on social media, whether it's in your church, whether it's with your life, whether it's we're all storytellers. We tell stories with the choices we make. I think that when it now comes down to being professional storytellers, it is very, very important. And I think people underestimate the power of this. It is the fact that you truly need to know who you are. Self-awareness is everything. You, as a storyteller, you need to go back into, thinking about who you are. What made you, or what are the experiences that you have gone through in life to bring you to where you are and made you who you are today? The background of your parents, where they come from. What are the pains and the traumas that you have experienced? How has it shaped your life and your thinking? You have to get into those moments, because the truth is, some of the greatest hit songs are songs from heartbreak. Abby, some of the greatest artists and storytellers are people who have made films about pain or made films about things that they deeply cared about. It's just somebody who's an amazing, director who I know, and he just loves to make films that have skoin in them. When I mean skoin, I mean when I say skoin, I mean there's a bit of mental issues with the lead character. He doesn't like stories where the hero is completely good, and that's because he tapped into who he was, his personality and his reality, that he didn't have an amazing childhood, and so he tapped into that pain that he had from not ever forming a relationship with his dad, and so that made him such a sought after storyteller, because he's true to himself. Because self-awareness leads you to the next place, the next thing you need, which is being authentic, being who you are. The truth is, your crowd, your audience will always find you, will always resonate with you, because the truth is, we are never really alone. You may think you're the only one going through this issue of, I can't take it anymore, I'm the only one suffering. No, there's so many other people who are going through the exact same thing, and they need somebody who has a voice, who has an insight that can help them, or actually something that can encourage them and say, we're in this together, we can grow together. So I think that those two things are very, very vital for storytellers, and they really helped me, especially when I started out Acrobats. I was really passionate about the youth getting to make decisions and taking the voter's card to know what's happening in politics. When I saw people didn't want to do politics, I said, okay, how can I make politics in a way that appeals to them? So I started gisting politics, and then I realized that my desires and my wants and the things that I really cared about shifted, which was marriage and my family, and started Aka and Claire, where we talked about our love, and all of that was just to help people navigate what marriage and relationship is all about and how you can be better. Because again, that also led me to a different path where my faith grew. I grew in my faith, and I can use that avenue to share, because my marriage isn't just for me, but I feel like my marriage just comes from and it's for a higher purpose. And so all of those things, impact how I have shared my story and shared myself and contributed to my success. And I think that was why I was also selected during the first cohort of the BVF, the Black Voices Fund. They were just these are the voices that we really need speaking out. It was during the NSAS era, and there weren't enough people talking about what was really happening and telling the world what was happening, because traditional media was being funny, so stuff like that. Yeah.
Love it. Make some noise.
Woo!
Thank you. Pop quiz. What was the first thing? This side. This side. I'm worried about you all. I'm truly worried. I'm praying for you. Please.
They're processing.
Okay.
They're processing.
He called y'all slow. That's me. I understand. The first thing was self-awareness. So what was the second piece? There we go. Now the bill's trying to come through. Yeah, we got competition coming now. Okay, I like it. I like it. Listen, what he said is just it's spot on, and it actually brings me to the next kind of like direction that I want the conversation to go, and that is I want to talk about content. You mentioned the Black Voices Fund, and we were like blessed with the opportunity to give you this support, these resources. These resources were financial, but they were also human, right? People think that YouTube is someplace with warehouses and processors and computers somewhere, and that is the entirety of the thing. No, YouTube is made of people. And I would like for you to talk for a second about the opportunity that exists right now, by virtue of being here, of having YouTube professionals like myself, like Mia Baka, who's about to speak in a second, having access and opportunity. For you, one of those ways that we created that for you was with the BVF, right? But now, in the absence of a BVF, what is the world of opportunity that exists for this unique group of people? And I would like to frame it inside of the Future Insiders, right? Like the very title of this opportunity. Can you just illuminate for a second on the importance of taking advantage of opportunities like these?
So for me, before the BVF and even after the BVF, some of the things that I really took advantage of was, like you said, resources that were made available to us. Because again, let me not lie you, Adam, let me not lie.
Don't lie.
A lot of times we feel like, especially Black creators and then African creators, then you now want to dip it down more. Should I dip it down more?
Yes.
Nigerian creators. We feel like we are at the lowest ever, like the barrel, like down. You know.
Hey.
Let him speak.
You know, for a long time we felt unseen. We felt like we were struggling on our own. We felt like nobody was hearing us out. We felt like we couldn't reach anyone. But then consistently, because I mean, like, I started like YouTube way back. Like, I was literally the only male YouTuber on lifestyle when I started, and commentary for a long time. Myself, Toke Makiwa, CCNE, and so for a long time we were doing this on our own, Dima Ome, and some of them even came from the abroad. So CCNE and Dima started outside of the country, and I started from here. So I felt disadvantaged, especially when you're trying to resolve some things technically and you can't get help or you can't find, like, at the time, YouTube hadn't developed, like, the support system as it is right now. And so I had those feelings, but I still forged on. But thankfully, what I realized was that YouTube started making efforts to reach Nigerians, to reach African creators, and to share resources with us, to help us grow. And so some of the best moments that helped me in my career was masterclasses like this, where we could learn so much about what YouTube was doing, what the algorithm was saying, because, oh my God, guys, that time, they will say, it's the algorithm that is against you. Tomorrow, on Bell Nigeria, they will say, oh, it's not. And so, we were literally just, anywhere that it will work, anywhere benefits, making things, because we just felt like we wanted our stories to be heard, to share. But then when we found that YouTube created a presence here, and then started sharing resources with us, master classes, then people, one of the greatest resources, and one of the best things to me that happened to me is that I felt like YouTube has become family. Not just because of YouTube staff or the people who work at Google, but even like creating events like this where I was able to tap into my colleagues. I could see people who were in the same space with me. And let me tell you something, the thing that they had to demystify early on, there is no competition in YouTube. Like, nobody's your enemy. Because the truth is, when the audience watches someone's video, it leads them to another person's video. If they don't watch your enemy's video, they will not watch your own. So they had to let us know that this is different from the way every other platform or every other world works. In the YouTube world, we need everyone to rise. And so instantly we were able to create community and help each other up. Like literally I would call up like friends, colleagues, guys who came, who I met, and it was smaller then, it wasn't this much, but we would literally call each other up, yo, I'm having this, what do you think? Oh, okay, I think you should do this and do this. And where we needed to escalate, we would literally wait for the next event and then ask somebody, and then we were all so helpful. So I think that those resources were literally pure gold for us, and some of us have become some of the biggest YouTube stars in Africa just because of those resources that were made available to us. And so to everyone here, Future Insiders is just saying, you're the future of the inner circle. In YouTube. That's basically what it is. Like, you guys are the future YouTube stars. And you guys just need to listen to everything that's going to be. I mean, it's an amazing program planned out for you guys. So take advantage of it, meet each other, learn from each other, and let's rise.
No, y'all gotta make some noise for that one. Okay, look. First of all, I feel like that mother where it's like I say the same thing over and over again, and if somebody else say it and they don't want to clap, I'm like, I will beat you over here. But I promise you, I said look to your left, I said look to your right, I said say, there you go. Because the reality is this, the resources you need are in the room. We're about to do a session in a minute that is going to demystify the algorithm, literally. It's going to tell you how YouTube recommends video, how it works. We're going to do a session a little bit later about the importance of diversifying your content. All the resources you need are here, and the distance between where you want to go and where you are now is purely education. Thank you for saying that.
Appreciate it.
We have time for one more question, but I actually would like that question to come from the audience. Is there anyone that is brave enough to stand up, and I can only do one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look at this clock. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do 2 questions.
These are my people.
If you could, we have a mic runner that's gonna come to one, and then there's another one in the back there. And when you get up, please stand up, say your name. Please tell us your YouTube channel, the type and style of content that you create, and go from there. First question. What's your name? I'm sorry, the light is blinding me.
My name is Fumilayo Hele, and the name of my channel is Hearts Fairy Tales 2023. My question is that, how have you been coping when you started without finance? And how did you get to the top? And how did you make it die? How have you been doing? Have you ever faced any challenges that you feel like?
Thank you. So one question now led to like 5 other questions. It's why.
I said it.
The lady, so she raised her hand up earlier. So maybe after her, if you wanna go, ask some questions. Okay, so the first question, how did I start without finance? Who told you that I was broke? Did I tell you that I didn't have money? Okay, so the honest truth is, I was broke. The Sapa, it was bad. In fact, if you go to my earlier videos, Adam, my neck was like the neck of an ostrich. I was sleeping, but in fact, I remember, hearing, you don't have to start with, all the tech. And so, but I kept on like, no, I'm a classic, man. I want to do it in a, nice way. I remember a friend of mine came into the house one day, my house. Who knows Chigo? So Chigo's brother came over and he was like, you've been talking about this thing for so long. Start. I was like, no, I was earning 60,000 naira a month. So the dream that I had, that I would go to buy a laptop, I would buy camera, then I would buy mics, then I would start. It was just like, you are dreaming. Who is going to give you the money? And so he literally opened my laptop, which was like wrecked, old, he had a camera in the middle. He was like using like that, and then he literally, you know those lamps, those LED white lamps that we use instead of lantern. He put it in front of my face. He said, use that as your light source. And literally he said, record something now. And that's how I started. I was shaking, I was angry, but he was like, I'm not going to leave here until you record it. And I recorded the first video. And he made sure that I put it up. It was from that video that I started learning how to edit. I went to YouTube and learned how to edit with iMovie. I was just like, what's the most basic editing tool? It was iMovie at the time, so I used iMovie. So yeah, that's how I started, and I just continued. Of course, did it come with challenges? Because again, like I said, which is the advantage of first movers, advantage. Like I put out my video, there wasn't anybody doing it at the time. It was only Toke, CCNE, and so on. But I was the first male who started YouTube. And I had also, because of meeting people and all that, reached out to somebody like, oh, I'm going to start my YouTube channel soon, but it was a dream. So when I did start my YouTube channel, I just sent an email to Bella Niger and said, hey, I started, this is the link to my first video. It was horrible. I did not believe it, but they posted it on their blog. And boom, people from the first go, like I had like 1,000 views. However, the insults that I got, they insult me. I cried, I stayed on my bed, I went under my duvet. I was just like, this is a lot for my first one. How could I do this? Because I attached my product, my video, to my identity, to who I was. And I felt like if they were saying the video was bad, then I was bad, or I was a bad person. Of course, I quickly learned how to separate that and grow tough skin. But, the truth is, I read through every single comment on Bella Niger at the time. Bella Niger posted, and then Linda Ikeji posted. Linda Ikeji was the blog in that day. So, a couple of people, like you said, 90% of the comments were good. They were talking about the points that I brought up, because I remember at the time, a certain politician, Bukola Saraki, was saying he was being witch hunted because they found out that he was hiding money. You understand? So I was like, how are you a witch? How can you say you are being witch hunted? So that was literally what I was talking about, like nutshell. And so some people were like, yes, this is what we're meant to be asking. This guy is asking the right questions. But there was some people that were just like, we can see the lights, you are using fluorescent. Oh no. But some people were just like, but in all the insults, there were some people who now insulted but gave the solution. So one guy was like, you don't even know how to do this thing. Look at you, you are just coming here to, we can't even see, the camera is even, if you want your camera to show you better, use natural light. And I was like, natural light, okay, what's that? Where will I buy natural bulb? So I googled and found out that natural light is actually sunlight. And so we decided to move the conversation of creating videos outside my compound. On that, when the sun was hot, I realized that, it made the video quality better. So even if I didn't have like good lights, natural light was better. And that's why I just started creating. So from criticism and insults, I realized I started looking for criticism to get better, because I was finding the gold there. A couple of people say good stuff and give like criticism. Most of the people that...
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Effiong and my channel name is Craftoria. What we do at Craftoria is that we teach and make stuff, we teach how to make crafts, how to read, like literally everything craft. So my question for you today, I realize that you're a more talented person. So now, how are you now? Because me too, I'm also a multi-talented person, and sometimes it gets difficult. I love to purchase, I love to do a lot of things, but I don't know which ones to like focus on at the moment. So I really want to hear that. Thank you so much.
You guys are asking such good questions. Please put your hands together for that. I'm going to respond in a vulnerable way. I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys because again, like you guys are the new stars, and I want you guys to have as much success as you deserve. Whew. Being a multi-potentialite, if it's not properly handled, can be like it can be a disadvantage. It's all well and good when you feel like you're multi-talented, but when it's time to do the work and create your path, it's harder than somebody who knows that, oh, this is the only thing I want to, I will die here. When you have so many interests, and then not just interests, I've seen people that they say, I'm an artist, I'm a musical artist. They say, oh, you're singing. Like, when, that's crazy. But when you know you can do it, like, that's hard. When you're a good actor, when you're a good singer, when you're a good writer or storyteller, when you're a good analyst, oh my God, where will you start? And so for a long time, that was my struggle. And it held me back for so many years. I saw so many of my friends move forward and make decisions in life, and I just couldn't move forward because I didn't know what I wanted to do, which one to do first, how to start, where to, what if I make the wrong choice in all these things? Because again, like, I just felt like I don't want to miss it. But the truth is, I realized that I was missing out by just not moving forward and being afraid and feeling that I wasn't even good enough for some of the things that I felt like I could start in. And so it's, you guys, community is everything. Like having people in your life that will constantly tell you, you can do this, you have to do this. Like, I remember friends who come into my office and they would say, Aka, why are you here? I was, in the office, doing well, was good at my job, but they all knew I was not meant to be here. Colleagues with like, they miss this. Then my manager called me one day and was like, you're bigger than this place. That was when I went home. I was like, oh my, God help me. And I was just living my life. I wasn't doing anything to show anybody anything. But guys, I started to talk with people and ask for, I connected with Pelua and people like when I was just ahead. And I didn't go after them like, oh my God, I want to, do everything you're doing. Oh, can I get your number? No, if I see them at a spot, like Ike was in the game, like he used to be called Wild Child. Those days it was the radio. And I just saw him at an event and I was just like, what do I do? Like, I went straight to the point. I didn't say, can I get your number? He doesn't know me, he doesn't care about me. I just need wisdom now. And I asked him, and he said, if you are multi-talented, start with anyone first. Anyone. You're good at everything, right? So if you choose one first and grow in that, the truth is, what we fail to realize is that all our gifts are connected. They're all linked. One go pull the other one up. So when I started YouTube, people began to see that, this boy is so funny and he's so endearing. People fell in love with me. And they opened doors for me to come for auditions. And then because again, I had started from, being on TV, hosting a TV show. It gave me, oh my God, guys, you don't even want to hear the story of how I started in TV. It was a fail. Like my audition was horrible, but somehow I got the job because of attitude. The guy who got the job got fired because he was talented but didn't have good attitude. So they were like, we saw raw talent during the auditions, let's get that guy, we'll train him. So they took a chance on me, trained me. I was not able to gain confidence in front of the camera. Then started out YouTube. From YouTube, people saw me, invited me for auditions for movies. And then from there, I became even bigger and better. I then also started to do other things that I was interested about. Look, from there, I just started, from film, YouTube, from YouTube, theater. I just had time, because again, as a new actor, I realized that I wasn't getting called every freaking week or every month. So what I'll do is I'll then share all my responsibilities. Okay, maybe this month is the peak period for acting. Next month, when I see something new, I will start entering other opportunities in other interests that I have. So I think that you can always do everything you want to do, but start with one first. That one will clear the pathway for other people to see other talents and make other, giftings rise to the table. So just start with one. Anyone, and be focused on it. Yeah,
100%. I think we are going to transition. Thank you so much for that. Oh, I did have one thing too. Do you guys know the phrase "a jack of all trades, master of none"? Does anybody know the whole quote?
Yeah, right. The whole quote. That's it. I mean,
The jack of all trades, but a master of none, oftentimes is better than a master of none. To his point, you have to start somewhere. You have to do something.
But now hear what they talk. Some people don't get the phone, Abi. And it's not as if they are not responsible. They know they hear you. So what he said was, jack of all trades, master of none is oftentimes better than what?
A master of
The
none.
master of none. That's the full quote. But our parents, or maybe it was colonial masters, only took half and told us jack of all trades, master of none. It's a big lie. So yeah.
Love y'all. That was amazing. Was that not good? Is this man not phenomenal? Thank you all so much. So we're actually going to transition into the next meeting.
Right.
And to do that, I am going to exit the stage. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate you. Truly, truly, truly love you. And I'll be outside. Please make sure to come up to me.